What's going on? Welcome back to the channel. So today we're going to talk to you about Ripple. I want to go over some of the current data points, break it down what's moving it, and where potentially the bottom might be. Before I get into any of that though, make sure to hit that thumbs up. And with that, let's get right to it. So Ripple is down 7.25%, 1.5 billion in volume over the last 24 hours. So volume is definitely a very big concern. It goes to show that big money is not really buying the dip, and which is why at the same time you need to really do your own due diligence, trust your gut, because a lot of people on social media are pumping it as though that big money's buying it. Volume doesn't justify that, so there isn't any big whales loading up at these prices because the level of fear in the market is kind of crazy. It's acting as though that there's just a massive recession inches away. So ultimately, when it comes down to what prompted all this fear, we did have PCE data coming out first thing, so that wasn't necessarily the best. Month over month, it did come in a little bit hotter than anticipated. Year over year, it was flat, but still at 2.5, it was relatively high. Then you also did have the Michigan consumer sentiment coming in lower than the forecast, insinuating inflation is forecasted to increase. So it's not necessarily the best chain of events that's kind of playing out. But aside from that, though, you're seeing everyone get hit. So Bitcoin's down 4.21% over the last 24 hours. Ethereum's down 7%. Ripple's down 7.27%, as I mentioned. So a lot of the big players are all getting hit. So it's not necessarily just Ripple. On a side note, Fear and Greed Index is surprisingly under the fear category 33, but I do anticipate over the next day for this to push lower, most likely to around that 27 range. But nonetheless, though, I don't see it hitting that recent low of 15, and that did occur on beginning of March for the most part. So I think in reality there is going to be a pullback, but a lot of individuals and articles are just blowing it somewhat out of proportion. So even this article right here is insinuating that Ripple could hit roughly $1.32 in April, and that would be more linked to the technicals and as well linked to the tariffs and what that will do to just the broader market. As I've stated in the past, cryptocurrency is not that difficult because it is simply consumers' buying power and appetite for risk. That is it. A lot of people overcomplicate it, saying that it's because of this and this and this. Like, it just, some people just overdo it. It is simply those 2 points. And because of what I mentioned, just consumers' buying power is expected to go down, as well as people's appetite for risk isn't there. So this is why you're seeing a little bit of a pullback. So as of right now, Ripple is back to being number 4 based on market cap. So it is below Tether. I still do feel, at least bigger picture, despite everything, Ripple is going to outpace Bitcoin. That's just my own opinion, of course, but I think in general, even beside the point, like if it does pull back, it still will do fairly well in comparison to a lot of its peers. So something to kind of keep in mind. Looking at the liquidations though, this is where you are seeing longs closing out the positions, not big whales buying. So based on this right here, you're seeing a lot of longs. Shorts are just getting in. So shorts aren't really willing to kind of exit, and nor have they exited since looks like March the 18th. That was the last time that 18.71 million in shorts kind of liquidated their positions. So I think it's just a lot of fear in the market. And if you do believe in Ripple or whatever other cryptos out there, if you believe in that, take advantage, buy the dip. As I've mentioned in the past, it is very difficult to time the bottom for Ripple. Best and only thing to really succeed in crypto is dollar cost averaging. So let me know your kind of viewpoint on that. Aside from that, though, with it currently at $2.18, it is trading between this S2 and this S3. So 204 is going to be that next strong support. Flip side, $2.19 is going to be that next strong kind of target / resistance. So over the weekend, hopefully you do see some level of buying, so it does close above this S2. So it's not a full technical breakdown, but essentially you're having a lot of fear articles and everything else like that. So let me know your general thoughts on Ripple. I know there's been a lot of big catalysts coming out recently about the SEC, but the wallet ETFs are going to be most likely coming at the beginning of the second half, I guess, of 2025. So big things are coming for Ripple. It's just, like I said, it comes down to those 2 points: people's appetite for risk and consumers' buying power. So are you buying the dip? Are you selling? What's your general kind of takeaway from all of that? Don't forget to hit that thumbs up and subscribe. I always greatly appreciate that. And hypothetically, do you think that this article is correct? Do you think that $1.32 is going to be the low? But if we kind of zoom out, so right now I'm looking at the 4 hour. If we zoom out to, let's say, the 1 week, it goes to show that you have roughly $1.89, 93 cents, and then 33 cents as very iron tight support levels. So essentially, if you are going to see a pullback, for instance, in March due to tariffs, obviously those 2 points getting hit, then definitely $1.89 I could see hit. But as far as 93 cents or even that, what it mentioned, like $1.30, I don't see that being feasible unless like all Armageddon kind of is happening right now. So yeah, in my opinion, as far as a low, at least this cycle, I feel like $1.89 is fairly kind of fair game ultimately. So let me know your thoughts. Where do you see things going in the short term? Where do you see the bottom being? Do you think that today is the bottom, or is there more pain coming? What's your general thoughts? One final thing, pop over to my Patreon where I give buy signals on stocks, options, and crypto. Many of them have been absolutely on point despite the bloodbath that is happening in the broader market. So definitely worthwhile to pop over there and take a look. Link in the description below and also the comments. With all that, appreciate all of you watching.